Hello, welcome to another Malaysian Ministry of Education SPM test preparation video for speaking exam. In this video, we will explain the SPM speaking exam format in detail, taking you through every part of the paper and share some performances as examples. This video is an extension of our first video, where we show you the overview of what is involved in the SPM speaking exam in general. This paper tests on your ability to explain your routine activities and express your opinions on familiar and unfamiliar topics. Let me show you some of the questions from our sample instrument and also some sample performances. So, what to expect in part 1 of the speaking test? Part 1 is simple and lasts for about 2 to 3 minutes. In this part, you will be asked questions individually about yourself and other familiar topics such as school, home life, and your daily routine. Here is an example of sample questions for part 1. There are 2 phases in this part. You're not expected to give extended answers here. Now, let's look at part 2. Part 2 requires you to talk on your own for 1 to 2 minutes on a particular topic based on written input in the form of a general instruction and content-focused prompts. You have some time to prepare before beginning speaking. This part of the test lasts for 3 to 4 minutes for both candidates. Here is part 2 sample question. Let's pretend that you are candidate A and your partner is candidate B. Candidate A is given a topic by the interlocutor which should be familiar. For example, a family celebration. You have some time to think about the topic and then you talk for about 1 to 2 minutes. Once you have finished, your partner, who is candidate B, is asked a question on the same topic and he or she should provide a short answer. Both of you then swap roles and candidate B is given a different topic. The grammar and vocabulary range needed in this part is broader than in part 1. Now, let's look at the sample videos for part 2. This video will show B1 and A2 candidates answering part 2.
In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your partner's topic. Nabil, it's your turn first. Here's your task. I'd like you to talk about a family celebration you had recently. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. All right, you may start now.
My family celebrate my father's birthday. We eat cake.
What can you say about this point?
Yes. Because we eat together.
Tell me about this point.
Family celebration important in Malaysia because we we eat together.
Thank you. Kalis, what was the last celebration you had?
The last celebration I had was Hari Raya Idul Fitri with my family.
Do you have a good time?
Yes, I had a very great time
Why?
because I get to see my brother and sisters in one place.
Thank you. Nabil, can I have the booklet, please? Now, Kalis, here's your task. I'd like you to talk about a person you admire. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. Alright, you may start now.
The person that I admire is my mother. She is very pretty. She has big eyes and pretty smile. I admire her because she is a very hardworking woman.
What can you say about this point?
I think it is important for people to have good role models because they can motivate you. Good role models can make you better.
Thank you. Nabil, who do you admire?
I admire Lee Chong Wei.
Why?
He good badminton. He winning many competition.
Thank you. Kalis, can I have the booklet, please?
Kalis communicates with reasonable accuracy and he shows a good degree of control of simple grammatical structures. He forms longer sentences and can link them together using basic cohesive devices. Nabil communicates with some accuracy despite hesitation. He is able to understand most of the questions and instructions directed at him slowly. He can provide basic information using short phrases and requires some prompting and support. This video will show B2 and B1 candidates answering Part 2.
In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your partner's topic. Dinesh, it's your turn first. Here's your task. I'd like you to talk about a family celebration you had recently. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. All right, you may start now.
A recent family celebration I had was when we all gathered together and celebrated my mother's birthday. This was held at my grandmother's place, and what we did there was we surprised her with a birthday cake and we spent the day playing party games. Personally, I did enjoy myself because it was the first time in a while that my whole family had gathered together. Why I think family celebrations are important in Malaysia is because it strengthens the bond between family members.
Thank you. Sasha, what was the last celebration you had?
The last family celebration that I had was my parents' wedding anniversary. I personally enjoyed the celebration because I get to witness my parents and the love that they had for each other.
Thank you. Dinesh, can I have the booklet, please? Now, Sasha, here's your task. I'd like you to talk about a person you admire. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. All right, you may start now.
The person that I admire is Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand. In my eyes, not only that she is very charismatic and intelligent as a Prime Minister, but she's also a very compassionate mother. She possesses the qualities of a good leader and role model, and I think it is important for people to have good role models to make an example so that they can become a good person that contribute back to the society.
Thank you. Dinesh, who do you admire?
If you ask me, I would say my uncle.
Why?
Because me and him share a special bond.
Thank you. Sasha, can I have the booklet, please?
Shasha expresses her ideas clearly, appropriately, and spontaneously. She displays confidence when talking about a person she admires in a very natural way. Meanwhile, Dinesh communicates with some accuracy despite hesitation. He shows some control of simple grammatical structures. He can form longer sentences and uses basic cohesive devices to link his ideas. He responds appropriately, but in a limited way. This video will show C1 and B2 candidates answering Part 2.
In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your partner's topic. Nina, it's your turn first. Here's your task. I'd like you to talk about a family celebration you had recently. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. All right, you may start now.
A family celebration that I had recently was my sister's graduation. We went to her graduation ceremony and we gave her a few bouquets of flowers as gifts. We also went out to eat with the whole family after that. I enjoyed myself there because I got to see my sister receive her certificate, and that inspired me to work hard too. I think family celebrations are important in Malaysia to make sure that the bonds between family members are strengthened and that family members don't grow apart with time.
Thank you, Nina. Hazel, what was the last celebration you had?
The last celebration I had was the National Day celebration. I went to Dataran Merdeka with my family and I was really impressed by the performance that was organized, and I felt very happy for the whole day and energetic. I really enjoyed my day.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please, Nina? Now, Hazel, here's your task. I'd like you to talk about a person you admire. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. All right, you may start now.
A person that I admire the most is Greta Thunberg. She is an environmental activist. She has long hair, is Swedish, and when I look at her, I see strength. And the reason why I admire her is because of her bravery. I feel like she has this ability to speak up about the things that she's passionate about, and in this case, it's about climate change. And I believe that it is important for people to have good role models because every day we want to be a better person. And in order to do that, we need someone to look up to. And in this case, when I see Greta, I feel that I too can be brave enough to speak about the things that I am passionate enough. Therefore, I believe that Greta is an inspiration and I really admire her.
Thank you. Nina, who do you admire?
The person that I admire is my mother. She is an excellent English teacher, and every time I speak to a student, they always say that they really enjoy her lessons.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please, Hazel?
Hazel expresses her ideas clearly, appropriately, and spontaneously. She interacts actively, initiating the discussion and communicating her ideas confidently and clearly about the person she admires. Nina is able to understand questions and instructions directed at her with ease. She maintains and develops the interaction effectively, with very little hesitation. She does not need any prompting or support. Next is part 3. Here, you will have to discuss and then make a decision on a specific question. This part lasts for about 4 to 5 minutes in total. In this part, you and your partner have to discuss together on a topic given by the examiner and then answer some follow-up questions. Finally, each of you is given up to 1 minute to answer a broadening out question. Here is a sample of question for part 3. You and your partner will be asked to complete a discussion task based on a mind map. You and your partner should contribute to the discussion equally. You don't get extra points for speaking more. Give your opinions on something and then ask your partner a question. You can even ask your partner to respond to your ideas and vice versa. Finally, you will be given an extension question which is broader in scope on the same topic, and each of you will have the chance to answer. Remember, the final question in part 3 is an extension question. Please pay attention to the sample here. I'll just give you a few seconds to read the task. So what do the examiners want to see here? The interlocutor will ask you an open-ended question related to the topic you discussed in part 3. In expressing your opinions, you may or may not discuss this question together with your partner. This conversation will be between you and your partner, although the interlocutor might take part in the discussion if you're going off the topic or running out of ideas. You only have up to a minute to answer this. In answering an extension question, try to showcase a range of speaking ability using many of the functions and grammar. For example, language for giving opinions and justifying choices. You will also need a range of language for interaction. For example, expressions for agreeing and disagreeing, language for turn-taking, expressions for opening and closing a discussion, as well as moving a discussion along. Now, let's look at the sample videos for part 3. This video will show B1 and A2 candidates answering part 3.
Online shopping is gaining popularity in our country. Here are some reasons why people shop online and a question for you to discuss. First, you have some time to look at the task. Now, talk to each other about the reasons why people shop online.
I believe people shop online because there is no crowd, so they don't have to line up. and also it is time saving. What do you think, Nabil?
I think shop online trending. People will follow.
Why?
Many famous people sell stuffs. Shop online wide variety. Shopee, Lazada. Shop online convenient. Easy for people.
I agree with Nabil, and I also believe that online shopping offer better prices than buying in store.
Thank you. Now you have about a minute to decide together which is the most popular reason people shop online.
We agree that the reason people shop online is because it offers better prices than buying in store.
I agree.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? You've been talking about why people shop online. Now let's hear your opinion on this. In what ways does advertising on social media influence people's buying behavior?
I think advertising on social media influence people buying behavior because when they scroll through social media, they see the item and they will want to buy the item.
Nabil, how about you?
Advertising, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, people buy.
Thank you, Nabil and Khalis. That's the end of the speaking test.
Khalis is able to express himself clearly, though there is some hesitation. He maintains and develops the discussion only with slight difficulty. Nabil, on the other hand, attempts to maintain the interaction by responding in a simple and direct way, but he's not able to develop it. Also, he can make himself understood despite pauses and false starts. He responds appropriately, but in a limited way. This video will show B2 and B1 candidates answering part 3.
Alright, let's begin with the discussion task. Online shopping is gaining popularity in our country. Here are some reasons why people shop online and a question for you to discuss. First, you have some time to look at the task. Now talk to each other about the reasons why people shop online.
One of the popular reasons why people shop online is because they do not have to face the crowd. There tend to be long queues at supermarkets, especially after work hours or during festive season, and this can come off as an inconvenience to some people. When people shop online, they do not have to park and they do not have to queue. And they also can save their time by not queuing or parking to shop for items. This will be very convenient, especially for mothers, for instance, who have to tend for their children, in which they do not have to leave their children unattended at home. Another reason why people shop online is because they can buy items at online shops for better prices, because everyone loves items that are more reasonably priced. They can also use coupons and vouchers to cut costs. What about you, Dinesh? Why do you think people shop online?
Why I think people shop online is because it's more convenient. Because when you shop online, you can access it through your phone, and everyone has their phones around them. Another reason is because it has a wide variety in choices. When you shop online, you can easily look up on what you want. The last point is follow the trend. Nowadays, online shopping has gained much more popularity since before.
Thank you. Now you have about a minute to decide together which is the most popular reason people shop online.
We both agree that the most popular reason why people shop online is because they can shop at better prices. Personally, as a student, I will always prefer to buy items at a lower price so that I can save as much money as I can.
I agree with her because personally, when I go for shopping, I look for the cheapest items.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? You've been talking about why people shop online. Now let's hear your opinion on this. In what ways does advertising in social media influence people's buying behavior?
I agree that advertising on social media does influence other people's buying behavior. Nowadays, it is a trend to have accounts with large followers advertising items that they sell online in their content posts, which is why we call these accounts as influencers, because they influence their followers and their target audience to buy what they wear or tell.
I think big companies take this as an opportunity to advertise more and more, so people that scroll through social media can learn what they sell.
Thank you, Dinesh and Sasha. That's the end of the speaking test.
Shasha is able to initiate the discussion by giving suggestions for why people shop online. She uses questions to invite and probe her partner, relating to her contributions to what she says and negotiating towards an outcome. While Dinesh is able to express himself clearly. He maintains and develops the discussion, though there is some hesitation. This video will show C1 and B2 candidates answering Part 3.
Now, I'd like you to talk about something together for about 3 minutes. The task will have 2 parts. In the first part, you will discuss something with each other for about 2 minutes. Then, in the second part, you will have another minute to make a decision together. Alright? Let's begin with the discussion task. Online shopping is gaining popularity in our country. Here are some reasons why people shop online and a question for you to discuss. First, have some time to look at the task. Now talk to each other about the reasons why people shop online.
So Hazel, I think people shop online because generally they are able to avoid the crowds that are there during peak hours. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with you, Nina. Also, when people shop online, they are able to save time. This is because nowadays, a lot of us are very busy, so it is difficult for us to go to the stores, but instead the stores come to us. And also, I would like to add that when shopping online, we are able to get better prices. This is because we can compare within the same app or between different sites to get the best price for us.
I absolutely agree. But I would also like to add that people do shop online because it is more convenient. Everything is literally at the tips of your fingers. You don't have to go out, you don't have to go through congested traffic, and you can just get your things delivered to you. And I also think that people shop online because we are able to access a wider variety of options, because there are things that are not available in our country that you can get by shopping online.
That is correct, Nina. Also, I would like to add that by shopping online, we are able to follow the current trends. For instance, say for example, there is an influencer or an artist that I like wearing an item that I am particularly interested in, but the said item is not available here in Malaysia. Maybe it is sold in the United States or Korea or Japan. And back in those days, obviously it would be difficult for me to get the item. But with online shopping, I can just order the item and the said item that I like would be delivered right in front of my doorstep.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? You've been talking about why people shop online. Now let's hear your opinion on this. In what ways does advertising on social media influence people's buying behavior?
Alright, so when it comes to social media, and for example, I would give Instagram, there is this thing called an algorithm, whereby each algorithm would cater to the user's interest within the app. This is why, if you notice that when we scroll to our Instagram or we watch Instagram stories, we would be bombarded by advertisement of products that we like. So this is why I believe that this social media advertisement would inherently influence people's buying decision.
What do you think, Nina?
I think social media influences people's buying behavior by repeatedly promoting their products through influences. When I see my favorite influencers wearing something that I am particularly interested in, I feel inclined to buy it and have it for myself. And I also feel like I need to have it to keep up with the current trends.
Thank you, Hazel. Thank you, Nina. That's the end of the speaking test.
Hazel understands questions and instructions directed at her with ease, including those on more complex topics. She's able to maintain and develop the interaction effectively and can produce extended relevant stretches of language. In part 3, she is able to link her contributions to her partners and give appropriate responses to the questions asked. She maintains a flow to the discussion and negotiates towards an outcome, adding her views to her partners. Nina displays confidence when talking about online shopping in a very natural way and is able to initiate, maintain, and develop the conversation with ease. So, that's all for now. I hope this has been helpful in guiding you to understand the new format better. For more information, do check our website, our official Facebook page, and Instagram from time to time. To all the candidates sitting for the SPM exam this year, we wish you all the best in the exams. Thanks for watching!